So let's start the session today for MPSW 5033. Actually for P as well, for Master and PhD are the same slide, same thing to be covered, as this is a compulsory subject for the postgraduate students. So for for subject engineering, technology and management, so I'm starting with the managing technology and knowledge, chapter 5. So what we are going to go through in this session, actually we are going to see what is technology, how we can, what's the definition of technology, why it's important for us to manage technology and the knowledge. Okay? Basically, this is not a new and specific things. I believe all of you have insight, have knowledge on this. But since it's been set up like this, so we need to go through the session. So I believe you have a very good, vast experience based on your industry experience. You know, all of you are in a good position in your own organization. So I believe you can think of what we are going to go through today. Although maybe it's more to the theoretical approach, but you can always relate to your background. And then please share if you think this the examples suits to your situation. Then please share based on your organization's view. Okay. So what is technology? Technology itself the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry. Okay. So this is one of the definition from Oxford Dictionary. So technology is the making, modification, usage, and knowledge of tools, machines, techniques, and things can go on, right, in order to solve a problem, to achieve a goal, and to perform a specific function. So we want to make human life easier. So we use the technology. It also we can say it's also the purposeful application of information in the design, production, and utilization of goods and services, and in the organization of human activities. So this is based on the business dictionary. Okay. So whatever it is, actually technology is a application of existing knowledge that through research and findings that make human life easier. So the technology management itself is integrate planning, design, optimization, operation, and control of technological product, process, and services. Or it can be and or services. So we integrate all the planning, design, optimization, and operation, including the control. So to manage them. So management of the use of technology for human advantages. So we have technology, and we have the technology management, how we manage the technology that we have. Okay. So if you in your company you have a specific machines, they have a, it's not a traditional machines. So you have a technology, you have a good features, and now people are talking about fourth industrial revolution. Okay, people are talking about the big data. People are talking about 3D printings. What else? IoT. So now maybe we have the machines, the equipments that far away from what we have before. So this is the technology management system. So the technology itself. So we are talking about the foundation of technology. So this is the cycle or the system. So started with the creation. Okay, so we have how you create the technology. Okay, started with the fundamental research, the application, trial and error, and things. Then the creation of it, and we need to monitoring of the technology. Okay, the assessment before we can transfer that technology. So our government is talking about knowledge transfer. So engagement of the academia and industry should be strengthened, so the technology transfer can happen. Even the government are pushing up all the academia, the lecturers, the academics bodies to go to the ground, to the people, to transfer the knowledge. So this is kind of thing that we have some certain knowledge, and it can be technology itself that we want to transfer. So this is the similar system. So you transfer and then it's acceptance. Means that the technology is accepted, is up to the level. And if you're familiar with TRL for technology, we have technology readiness level. Okay, it started when related to the aerospace by the NASA. They have 1 to 9, if I'm not mistaken. So 1 is, it's like an intention to start the technology, and 9 is the is available commercially. So people start to use the technology, and it will come up to one level of where the matured, and then it's going to decline. Okay, and we need to, once it's declined, people need different technology. They need the technology that can fulfill the current the current situation, so the cycle starts again. Okay, so this is the cycle for the technology management system. So that's technology management, and this is the technology management system. So now we're going to talk about the organizational knowledge. So this is the subchapter for today. Okay. So what is organizational knowledge? Anyone? When I say organizational knowledge, what first comes to your mind? There is no right or wrong answer. I'm just asking a random question here. Yes, you can read here, but yes, please.
The history of the organization.
The history of the organization. Can you elaborate more? What do you mean history? Is it how they start? Or
yes,
how
it's established during the starting, what have become the aim.
Okay, thank you, Hamka. Okay, anyone else? The organization.
The intellectual property filed by the company.
Okay, yes, thank you, Jia. So it's intellectual property, but before it reached to the intellectual property level, it should start small somewhere, right? Before they can identify that's the IP for the company before they file. So you have your fundamental element down there. Okay, so that's the knowledge. So we just take using the ISO 9001/2015. There is some notes clause that explain what organizational knowledge is and what it can be based on. Why I quote ISO 2015, 9000/2015. Before this, before 9001 to before year 2015, there is no word on no organizational knowledge by ISO. Okay, you know ISO, right? The people who are auditing your company to have an international standard for your office or for your organization. So they have a lot of things that you need to comply. There is a standard, international standard. So there's nothing about organizational knowledge. But on 2015, they have some clause on organizational knowledge. Means that when they audit, they're going to look for this. Of course, they have their auditing checklists and things, but we can see it's been emphasized this year. So I like to just take from these ISO related things, so we know why even they need to count it, even they are looking for it when they are doing auditing. So it is a specific knowledge to the organization. So it's a specific knowledge to the organization, generally gained by experience, which is used and shared to achieve the objective of the organization. So it can be, so knowledge can be anything, which later on makes profit to the company. So this can come internally, such as intellectual property, as said by Jia just now. Lessons learned from failure, also a knowledge. Okay, so you do something and it goes wrong, like in CTRM, when they are machining the panels, suddenly it goes wrong and it's failed. So you can't use this process, you need to use this process. and successes. Okay, failure and successes. It's not only failure. So lesson learned. So that's the experience for that specific company. If you are doing machining, you are doing this on using this speed, using this material, and suddenly it's failed. You change a bit the parameters and it works. So you mean when you are exploring new things and then it is a success. So that's a knowledge as well. Or the results of improvements, or it can come externally. So lesson learned from failure, success, result or improvement, and many things that happen in our company that we take it as a quality improvement, as a new knowledge. That's internally, right? Many things happen internally. Okay, and there is some that can come externally. So what are the methods? How? Usually when you go to the conferences, you get a feedback from the customer knowledge or the supplier knowledge. So you gain the example, the experience, their experience, other people's experience. Okay. So here they discuss about knowledge. It's an important resource. It is needed for organization to support the QMS processes and to ensure the conformity of its output. So as implied by the business dictionary, organizational knowledge is an asset that cannot be quantified. Okay, of course, your organizational knowledge, and if you, let's say, it's a collective knowledge, if in your company, let's say in your company, you are one of the staff of the company, but how many people are working together? How many staff your company got? Okay, take, let's say, Infineon, how many staff? 4,000? More than
9,000 over.
Sorry, 9,000.
9,000 over, yeah.
Okay, so it's 9,000 over. Let's say 10,000. Okay, so that 10,000, they got their own experience. They got their own knowledge related to the field. Okay, so if these 10,000 people, let's say the average working experience, let's say is 5 years. We call it group resume. We call it group resume. Let's say 5 years. So you have 10,000 is 50,000 years of experience if you accumulate all of them. Okay, so it's a huge resources, huge knowledge that the Infineon got, which can be utilized. This is a collection of individual knowledge that provides advantages over others in the same field. So it cannot be quantified, but it's there. It's just the matter of how the company benefits themselves and also others. Okay, so that's the introduction of organizational knowledge, the knowledge from the organization itself. Okay, here again, the definition, I believe, organizational knowledge is the specific knowledge of the organization coming either from its collective experience or from the individual experience of its person in an explicit or implicit way. This knowledge is or can be used to attain the organization objective. So basically used to achieve the organization's goal. Okay, this can be either from its collective experience or from individual experience, as we discussed before. So here I snapshot the organizational knowledge that been mentioned in the ISO 9001 and 2015. If you can see this clearly, I just read it for you. Determine the knowledge necessary for the operation of its processes and to achieve conformity of products and services. This knowledge shall be maintained and made available to the extent necessary. When addressing changing needs and trends, the organization shall consider its current knowledge and determine how to acquire or access any necessary additional knowledge and required updates. So this is in ISO 9001-2015. This is the clause. Okay. Note 1, organizational knowledge is a knowledge specific to the organization. It is generally gained by experience. It is information that is used and shared to achieve the organization's objectives. Note 2, organizational knowledge can be based on internal sources, intellectual properties, knowledge gained from experience, lesson learned from failures and successful projects, capturing and sharing undocumented knowledge and experience. The results of improvement in processes, products, and services. So external sources is standards, academia, conference, gathering knowledge from customer or external. I have mentioned this before, but this is to show the clause 716 knowledge, ISO 9001:2050 on QMS, quality management system, the requirement. So you see, they stated generally, and of course, it's very difficult to measure this, right? And even they introduced it before. They said it's very difficult to be identified, to measure. Of course, how even to assess them. Okay, but the company should have something on this. So maybe you can reflect back to your company how this knowledge been used. How, of course, you're going to have a document, right? The process improvement, the CQI, everyday's improvement. If anything goes wrong, any accident happens, so what's the countermeasure? How you did, and you have several methods, the management system methods, how you utilize people. So I think somehow it's happening. So we have three types of organizational knowledge. Basically, it's two. Okay, it's tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge, and we have other types of knowledge. Okay, this is type of organizational knowledge. So we're going to see what is this tacit knowledge and then explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is often referred to as the know-how that exists in the organization. Okay, so what do you understand when it's written here, know-how? Anyone? What is know-how? Anyone want to give point on this?
Experience, knowledge, or learning to do something.
To do something. So this sometimes can be the commercial knowledge, you know, because this know-how, maybe your company, when you got this know-how, this is the profit making things. You know how to solve the problem. You know from this you can develop a machine to solve this problem, which is not been covered or not been explored yet by other people. So later on, this is your business. See, like your current company now, they are doing what's the current? I mean, the current core competence of your competency of your company. So it starts from this know-how. You know how to do this, so you do it as a business. So this knowledge is known as know-how. So tacit knowledge is found in the minds of human stakeholders and is largely experience-based. It is also considered to be the most valuable source of knowledge. It is the intuitive, hard to articulate knowledge, and it is rooted deeply in action and commitment, often requiring the involvement of a specific individual or group of individuals. Okay. So what are the examples of this tacit knowledge? It includes skills they acquired through tradition, common knowledge, or understanding. So you learn this, you know, from you. It's not suddenly you got the company, suddenly you got the knowledge, suddenly you got the. It's nothing to do with machines. Okay. Even sometimes the company develops, I mean, or construct or manufacture the machine. So how you get that knowledge? Okay, how you get the knowledge? How Honda started the engines, I mean the development of the engine. Is it suddenly and it's happened? No. Like as the light, the bulb that we have today, the Thomas Edison, is it like suddenly you got the, no, it's from trial and error, the experience, and suddenly you got that. Once you got that, then you trace back the, you know, the route, the steps, understand, improve until you know how to make profit using that or to benefit people. Okay, it's not yes, of course, a profit-based organization, but sometimes there's people who wants to do want to contribute the knowledge to the community as well. So this is tacit knowledge, and we have explicit knowledge. So explicit knowledge is the know what knowledge that has been formalized, articulated, and most often documented. So this, I would say, the next level of the tacit just now. So it means that you know it works, and then it's formalized, articulated, you know, and most often documented. So this is when you already establish. Okay, usually the earlier generation will have this struggle. You know, they explore, try and error, sacrifice a lot until they got some knowledge. Okay, and then the knowledge will, you know, shared, well documented, and then be like a formal know-how business factor. So now in the company, I would say maybe we now in the explicit knowledge, if we already have established technology knowledge or the core competencies of the company. So it's easy to identify, store, and retrieve, which means care needs to be taken in the handling and management of this knowledge. So what do you understand from this second bullet point? It's easy to identify, store, and retrieve. Means that now people know how to do. You know how to do. This is the secret of your company. Okay, just take the KFC secret recipe. Okay, so now previously until you know, the colonel identify or, you know, finalize the recipe, he went through struggles. You know, he went through many struggles, that and this, until he got it. But now it's established. Okay, no research need to be done. The recipe is there. People just follow that 11 ingredients, how to mix, and who keep the secrets. You know, they just need to identify the right person. If that's leak, so anyone can just you know, imitate or can just replicate things. Even we have now in Pasar Malam, you know, in the street stores, that quite similar taste of the KFC chicken, right? So this need to be taken care. Okay, taken care. Here is where comes the IP that been mentioned just now, intellectual property or copyright or whatever it is, industrial design, what else, okay? So that you secure, so people can simply use yours. So why we can see now, you know, Sony Ericsson's or Nokia or whatever the phone companies, they are, you know, start the cases among their competitor because they are doing similar things as them, the system, that and this. So in order to secure this knowledge. So the greatest challenge lies in ensuring that people have access to what they need. The needs to be adequate storage and protection. The needs to be a process in place for explicit knowledge to be formally reviewed, updated, or discarded. Examples of explicit knowledge include databases, memos, notes, documents, and etc. And we have other types of knowledge. Okay, implicit knowledge is knowledge that can be articulated but has not yet been articulated. And we have procedural knowledge. It's knowledge that manifests itself through an activities. It's a procedure based, maybe more experimental based, that it can, you know, expand itself. Declarative knowledge is knowledge that consists of description of facts and things, or methods or procedures. Okay. Maybe the ingredients, maybe the steps for you to do certain process until you got a very good quality of a product. Okay. And strategic knowledge is the knowledge of when to do something and why to do it. Okay, this is managerial strategic knowledge. Okay, when to do that, when to launch the product, what product to be launched, which product that we need to launch first in order to compete with our, you know, challenger or competitor in the market. So this kind of other types of knowledge, and I believe we have more types of knowledge if you dig more information. But for the sake of for this subject, we are covering on this first. Next, I'm going to share about complexity of the knowledge and its application. So basic knowledge, emerging practices, the collaboration, the training, documentation. Okay, so it means that it's going high, the complexity is getting high. So collaborating have a high complexity and also very broad application level. Okay, if you are here, it's more to the documentation things. Application is not too high, but the complexity level also low in terms of the knowledge, I believe. So how to capture the organizational knowledge? This is to answer the ISO 9001, right? How you capture this? Because people, when they came to audit, they need to prove that you have this knowledge, you appreciate the knowledge of your organization or knowledge of your staff, and how do you capture? So this is some of the ways that we identify. You have your work instruction. I believe in the production line or the operators or the technicians or the engineers, they come up with the work instructions, how to do, what are the steps, with detail. And you can see that's the knowledge. You can't just, you can't just simply share this publicly. Can you share your work instruction on your Facebook? I don't know if maybe some companies, they are okay, I don't know. But this kind of knowledge, you know how to do what to do. Some companies that I visited, they even have very detailed with the specs, with the figures, and then there's a signature, who endorsed this, who verified this, and then there is a NDA clause, okay, on even its work instructions. Anyone want to share on this work instruction? I believe most of the company got this work instructions. Is that private and confidential, or it's not too strict? What's your practices in your company? 1 or 2 points from you guys?
I think the SOP they never share to others.
Yeah.
Standard operation.
Yeah, standard operation procedure SOP. You never share. Right. How about others? I believe it is the same, right? If the trainee, the students came for the internship, they may have access to this, but sometimes they already been briefed that they can't just copy, they can't just photocopy and put in the report. So even I visited, before the pandemic COVID, I got the opportunity to visit, Top Glove company. Before the pandemic means that they are nothing, right? Just a normal glove company manufacturer. So even when I want to visit, when I want to enter, there's like a security check, and then I need to leave all my belongings. Okay, no handphones, and then there is a restricted area, so I can't access to any room there. Only the dedicated meeting room that they already set. So goes to the room, wait for the students. The student will come with the supervisors, and then the session after that, immediately you go out. And I want to take picture with the student, just at the very front, at the front office. Even it's not inside the office, but they said no, cannot. You see how strict they are. And finally, I just took the picture outside the gate. Yeah. So this similar for many companies, that because they have their they have their know-how, their knowledge, that they want this to be leaked, and they may have a vast experience. They may have many people can just come and to capture the information and then sell it to their competitor. So this is happening globally. Even when I was at UK, so my colleagues doing some research with Boeing, Airbus, sorry. So she asked us to accompany her, okay, because she's doing some research on the cutting tool performance, okay. So and later on, it end up that no one can go except her, because actually you need to have your screening, you need to send your passports prior to the date, and they need to screen you. They have the list of people who've been blacklisted from entering their premises. Okay, so many organizations have this kind of things, you know, and this is very important how we manage the knowledge. So this work instruction, checklist, you know, the training packages, on-the-job training, information, knowledge database, all of this. So this can be the proof on capturing the knowledge in the organization, because all of this is very powerful. You know, need of a good take care of all of this information. Okay, by the training, you know, you have your training modules. If it's linked to other people, then they can just imitate yours. On the job training, you may have deal with the special machines, special tasks that you got a training, okay, from abroad, and then you know you need to take care of all of these things. So what are the importance of the organizational knowledge? I believe okay, we all know about this subchapter, but we are discussing it. So what are the importance of this organizational knowledge? Because one is the necessity to convert intellect, knowledge, and technology into things that customer want, since the technology by itself will not lead to success. Okay. So if you have a good machines with a high tech, but if you don't know how to make use of it, it's useless, right? So you need to convert it to things that your customer willing to pay. So that knowledge need to be managed. And managing technology and knowledge of the organization, especially you need to compete in the market. It's a business competency. And this is keep improving, because your competitor are going to move toward, and you all need to go faster than them. And innovate and secure the expertise, you know, you're going to innovate and secure the expertise that you have. And later on, you're going to diverse your expertise, and things goes on, like, you know, to compete in the market. Of course, the sustainable, what they meant here is the sustainability of the business, and etc. more. Okay, things can go long, I believe. So relationship between knowledge, soft skills, and know-how. Okay, it's not too clear, but somehow we can see talking about behavior and soft skills here. So it's more to the attitude resulting from the willingness, state of mind, and concern of professional recognition. And here is knowledge. This is the theoretical knowledge. This is practices or the expertise. So we can see here is expertise. Means that when soft skill, knowledge, and know-how comes together, is called your expertise. So your company's expertise. So because you have your skills, you have your knowledge, and you know how to do what to do, you can perform the measurement. Okay. So CTRM can come out with a very good specification of the panels, okay, with a very good process in the control room, because they have the skills of their staff, knowledge, and also how to do. So and we have different terms as well, the performance. You have a good performance if you have a knowledge and soft skills. Okay, so maybe here is the, you got your staff and then you train them, give them knowledge, so they perform their job. Okay, but to make sure they can be an expert, you need to send them to the training, and they know how to do, then they're going to be expert. Executant, maybe the low level, like maybe operator, okay, or I don't know, it depends on your company, operator or your, not sure, maybe operator, usually operator. The labor, they have their skills, they make, come to your office, I mean to your organization, they don't know nothing, but you give them training, okay? So after a period, maybe after 3 months, and then they improving their experience, 6 months, 1 year. So you may have your staff, they're working at your place for 10 years, so they are very experienced people, and so we call it executive. So this is just about the relationship between knowledge, soft skills, and know-how. So So now we are going to continue the how this organizational knowledge can be used. So it's 35 minutes now. Do you want to take a break for 5 minutes?
Okay.
Or we continue? Take break, right? Sorry?
Yes, Doctor. It take me 5 minutes.
Okay, we take 5.